Okay, the reason I have to stop the video and start a new video because of the tripod. I was smashing it on the ground, so got lopsided and I got to readjust the tripod. Now kind of readjusted to how the angle I wanted. Anyway, like I'm saying, earlier at the beginning of the video, I'm having a toothache, so there are times you could see me holding my mouth, and so basically it's just to kind of like ease the pain a little bit so I could continue with this video. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna continue where I left off. So pretty much that's it, you know. It's like I'm crying and I'm running, and it's like I'm at the end of the row, and you know, just saying that, you know, I know should have never got myself into this situation where I have to go against the whole San Diego by myself, where I have to carry the weights of the world by myself. I know I should have never got into this situation. I'm like, and I'm crying and I'm running, and it's like, you know, I know I should have not got myself into this situation, and I'm at the end of the row, you know. So this CTC promotional event is just like, you know, please give me another chance in the name of royalty and championship. So kind of like, in a way, you know, have to have a little bit of self-esteem in order to make this promotional event work. You know, I can't be like crying and running, you know. This is in the name of royalty and championship, you know. Can't have a person just crying and running, you know. It's like, so like I'm saying, and so pretty much this event is just like I'm at the end of the row and I'm crying, I'm running and crying and just begging for a little bit of mercy. And so, and just so coincident, right after I wrote that, a few days later I have this toothache. I feel maybe just, like I'm saying, you're trying to put this toothache as just stress, you know, but it felt, but my thoughts right now is just like, you know, I'm at the end of the row running and crying, and someone's making me this toothaches to me, you know. It's like, you know, just die already, you know. It's like, save yourself a lot of pain and misery, you know. It's like, I just couldn't help it to have this thought, you know. It's kind of like, in a way, you know, it's like, you're so stupid, you know. Should have never go against the city of San Diego by yourself, you know. It's so stupid. And now you think you can come up with CTC too, you know, to defend yourself, you know. You can't win. Be smarter next time. Don't go by yourself. Don't take on the whole city by yourself. You can't win in this kind of scenario. So anyway, like I'm saying, that's why, you know, like I was saying, you know, that's why I start out at the beginning of that promotional event with that quarter cue, you know, right there, you know. Is that how you want me to die, you know? It's like, I'm like at the end of the row crying, and running and crying at the end of the road, just want a tiny bit of mercy, and you have to create all these problems. Just to me, just like that critical scene, you know, it's like. So basically, that's why I want to emphasize right away that this promotional event is to stress that I am in a very tough and serious situation. You know, this promotional event is to relieve some of the weights in my life, not to create more weights. So that's why I have the critical scene right away at the beginning. You know, it's like if you want to create more weights to me, I'm gonna sooner or later I'm gonna be in that critical scene. You know, it's like. So pretty much that's why I want like right at the bat, you know, just point out that critical scene. You know, it's like. Just like, you know, it's like, you know, it's just, I felt like no matter what I do, what I say, it's just like that people can just say, you know, be smarter next time. Don't take on the whole city of San Diego by yourself. It's just like, that's why, you know, it's like right at the bat, you know, I point out the critical scene. You know, this promotional event is to lighten up some of the weights in my life, not create more weights. If you want to make that argument, you know, be smarter next time and don't take on the whole city by yourself. It's equivalent to creating more weights to me. You know, it's like. Alright, okay, I have to. It's flashing. That's almost run out of battery, so I have to plug in the AC adapter and continue with this video. So I'm gonna stop this video in 3,